Hello, citizens, and welcome back to the channel. This is Vegas Postman. Just want to say thanks a lot for joining me today. Today, we are going to do something that I've been wanting to do since I picked up the Ironclad the other day. We're going to be doing some testing and seeing how well it's going to work as a mothership. We went out last night and did a little bit with the Salvation nested in it and also the Ursa medevac vehicle. So I have something to respawn and, take care of hydration and food. That way I don't have to keep taking a whole bunch with me while I'm out there in the verse. So I did store the ship in the state with the Ursa medevac and the Salvation inside of it. So we're going to see how well the persistency is here now that we're loading it today, and if it works well. And we're going to probably add some more things into it. I would say definitely a Atlas Geo. That way we can do a little bit of mining and maybe even a golem. That way we can take care of salvage and mining all at once. Because then I still have to be mindful of how much room I have within the ship. Because, when I'm doing the salvage loop, I'm removing any kind of weapons or componentry or things that I can, and then putting it on the grid in the assault ironclad, and then stacking up as many boxes as I can for however long I want to play, and then I will, you know, pretty much bring the ship back to home base, sell everything, make a good chunk of money, and then go. And the reason I'm doing this is not just to test the nesting. I'm also doing it because currently, right now, a lot of the elevators, as you guys might or might not know, on planets, they don't seem to be functional. They seem to be locked. So uh, some of the cargo runs are just incapable of completion. So I'm still going to be using the Ironclad, and then I can just incorporate the salvage loop into it. So, all right, let's get into the gameplay, and we will check out and make sure everything is still nested. So, looks like I'm a little thirsty. Let me grab a drink here. Okay, I don't want to drink too much. I just want to get the levels up right there because I'm still obviously going to show you guys the testing for the Ursa medevac and how to save that. So let's put this bottle over here with the rest of our collection. And let's pull up the Ironclad and see if everything is still in there. I don't know why the ensure loadout isn't checked, because I did add upgraded power supplies into it, 2 of them. So let's check the vehicle and make sure all that stuff stayed after last night's save. Systems, power plant, Durango. Yeah, so it did say, it just didn't keep my insurance, which is fine. Insurance isn't collected until there's a claim made against it. So let's ensure the loadout. Make sure power plants, Durango. So I don't know if you guys know, but this power plant right here is the one that's in the command module. So don't be like, hey, how come the power plants? There's 2 power plants for the chassis, and then 1 for the command module. So sorry about that. I had a little stuff in the throat. Let's bring this girl up. What? Deliver? What are you talking about, deliver?
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Okay.
Please visit us again.
I was going to say, shouldn't have been delivered. It should be here. and already I'm not sure if it's saved it, because if it did, I think I should have the notifications for the vehicles on the inside. You see how it says ladder, all that stuff, but I could be mistaken. As you can see, I did a walk onto the ship the other day. This thing it's absolutely beautiful. It's a gorgeous ship. Love the design, love the ability that, once persistence is, increased, that we're going to be able to, we're going to be able to use this ship for like a home base, kind of, and it's also going to help with the org for the, the refueling and rearming, along with, what I'm using it for here. So, I'm able to just refuel my salvage, or maybe my golem, or whatever vehicle I have, and refuel it, restock it. So, all right, and there she is. So we do have persistency now. So it did save the crate, salvage right here, salvation. Let's just go and close this up here, and our Ursa Medevac is there. So, all right, excellent. So now we're going to make sure and test that everything else is working down. So we'll just lie down, and that should take care of our food and water right there. That way we don't need to drink. Yep. Operational. Excellent. Oh, you know what I did need to do, and I didn't do it yet, is set my respawn here. That way, if anything happens to me out in the verse, transfer imprint, and yes. 200 to 200 med gels. I always kind of like to have an insurance or a backup plan, or something that, something that can make sure, if I make a mistake, I'm not the best gamer at this, I've only been playing this game for about 6 months, and I'm also new to keyboard and mouse, so it's kind of like trying to learn everything all at once. All right, so seems like everything is persistent, it's working, everything is good. Let's close it up and get out there in the verse and do a little bit of salvaging. I wonder if there's a way to turn off these emergency lights. Headlights. I guess not. I know that's something they're working on right now, because this, the emergency lights, for some reason, they just keep going. They keep flashing. What do I want for my pips? What Weapons config. Shield, gimbal, self status. That's for targeting. I guess we'll keep it as hail. Got a couple org mates on the server here, Akodo and Peanuts. So if you are interested in joining an org, in the description below, I have a link. Citizens United Front, that is the org I am a member of. We're always looking for new members to play the game. A lot of chill people that are always willing to help. You know, there's no judgment, there's no stress, there's no, nothing but good people. And then below that in the link, you'll find our Discord, which is what we use for communications, since the in-game chat isn't always 100% functional. We have a Discord channel that we use to group up, and there's multiple channels inside of that. That way, you know, if you're a hauler or maybe a miner, or you want to do some, you know, FPS combat or ship combat, bounty hunting, you just create a channel and that's it. People will join, and that way you can stick together as a squad. And then finally below that, you're going to find my content creator referral code. So if you're thinking about jumping into Star Citizen, you want to get yourself a little bit of extra credits when you first start the game to make sure you can buy your weapons and armor, and heals, food, whatever you might want. Just enter that. So, all right, let's get this girl off the ground, right? Looks like it's a nice sunny day out here in Microtech.
Babbage, the proud home of Microtech, where creative innovation meets innovative creativity.
Take that landing gear up. And once we get out of atmosphere here, we'll check our mission list and see what kind of salvage missions we have. I'm sure there's ships out there in the verse that need to be torn down and recycled. Atmosphere on the planet of Microtech is usually right around 12,000 where you reach escape velocity. A little bit of afterburner on. Should almost be there. Yep, we are at 13. We are free from gravity. So we got 54% quantum fuel. I probably should have refueled before I left, but she's got a massive tank on her, so I don't, hopefully they won't be bringing us all across the other side of the system to do a job here. So we'll go down to contracts in the bottom on your Mobi-Glass, and we will go to salvage right here. And that's the one I've already done. That gets you into Adagio Holdings and opens it up. Okay. 49K. So we need 10 SU of construction rubble, 15 construction pieces, and 25 of construction salvage. And let's see, does it tell us what kind of vehicle it's going to be? It's going to have to be pretty large if they're going to want this. Requirements, any class, size of salvage ship. Okay. Let's accept this offer. So we got some delivery to LaGrange and some delivery to Wide Forest. This up here should be where the delivery point is. Yep, that's the delivery. Let's bring up our Mobi-Glass here, and usually there's quite a fair amount of ships that are, in salvage state that are right around our space station. So obviously, first I'm going to be checking to see if Port Tressler has anything. It's the comm array. Mining base. Let's do a quick jump here. Let's see. Let's check it out. There might actually be something around the mining bases. I haven't really looked at that. Or quantum jump here. And we're going to start looking for some signatures here. Hopefully large signatures. That'll give us the mass of the item. Let's also make sure that our radar's got. Where's our radar? Doesn't appear to be anything here, so let's pull up the maps. I give it a try. I just didn't, I'm not really too familiar whether or not there's going to be, signatures that are mineable or salvageable. Let's check out Cleo. So I'm also not really sure, construction rubble in pieces. I'm not sure if the Salvation's going to be able to do that, but it really doesn't matter because in a way I'm only using the mission structure to give me a little bit of guide. That's odd. Why can I not jump? Let me cancel this mission. This may be causing some kind of a glitch, so I'm gonna have to send this in to CIG and have them take a look at it. Contracts. Abandoned. Or it could be that my quantum drive is not. So we have Microtech or visual on that. Let's see if we can go to so we've got Cleo right there. And I go back into contracts here. Back to salvage. Offers. Salvage. Gladius via 500. We'll pay that fee to get the rights to claim it. Okay. system's not calibrating now. I think it was, you know, as soon as I go on to, let's cancel that route. There we go. So I was unaware, if you have a predetermined destination, it's going to cancel out your ability to do any other routing, like open routing. It's a pretty close jump, not too far. Gladius isn't going to be a long ship, so it shouldn't take too long to strip it down. So first what we're going to do is we are going to park the Ironclad next to it. Then we're going to check out and see if we can strip it of all of its components, weapons, things like that. Put that down on the grid in the Ironclad, and then take the Salvation out, strip it down, repark the Salvation, and then drop off the boxes of RMC inside the Ironclad. And then if we need be, take that again to complete the contract, and then move on to the next one. And we'll see what the verse has to offer us today as far as salvage missions, and hopefully I can get my holding, you know, get this contract up to where I can start getting larger and larger contracts. Keep our distance at about, 250 meters. Actually, no, you know what? Since we're going to be stripping it of its weapons, we'll get closer since we have to do EVA spacewalk. Get below it, so our bay is going to be right there. Kill the engines. Do a quick helmet check, make sure we're good to go. Yep. Can't tell you how many times I've gone out into space with, after having a drink or something, and suffocated, killed myself. So we'll open up these bay doors, that way we can get the Salvation out. And also we can throw down the weapons and componentry down onto the grid. Oh, we don't want that. Okay, so apparently I cannot strip off those weapons. Can't take this Panther. That Panther. Yep, we can take that one too. And the main reason I'm doing this is not for the weapon itself, but to break it down once I get back to my crafting fabricator, just for the materials alone. Then I'll take those materials and I'll sell those materials, since I have no real use for the materials in a in a crafting quality of 500, which is your basic item. When you're crafting things, the higher the quality gives it more and more stats. So I don't think, nope. See, now it was allowing me to pull that. Stay there and give me the gun. Thank you. Ooh, a mantis. There we go. Okay, that's down on the grid now. It seems to be clear. We can't take any of the missiles. Is there a turret on top that I can take? No turret on top. Okay. Now, normally you would think it'd be okay to go right into the, into the top of the vehicle, but that is a good distance to drop, so I usually just kind of play it safe with my EVA. Go back in through. Okay. Since we can't keep a close eyeball on this right here, what we're going to do is we're going to close this up. That way we only have our canopy exposed. And we'll climb in our salvation here and strip this vehicle. I'm not guessing we're going to get any more than a couple SCU from stripping this, and then we'll just move on to the next vehicle.
Welcome to Robert Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check. Engines are on. Fuel is at 100%. Takeoff complete.
Why is only one focus head going? Oh, there we go. It just keeps doing that for some reason. This is the third time I've taken this vehicle out, and it always resets it to just one. So we're going to do focus tool left and right. So left Alt S. And now both of our scraper heads are working. And it's basically kind of like the pressure washing game. I don't know if anybody's ever played that. You're going through and collecting the material, stripping the vehicle. You could either maneuver the ship or hit G and then go into gimbal mode, where it'll lock your ship in place and remove the movement of the ship and just the movement of the head. So whatever's more comfortable for you at the time. We're about halfway done with this ship here. Really enjoyed this game loop. I find it to be one of the ones where, if I just want to relax and have fun with the game and chill out, I do this one. So let me know, do any of you guys salvage or anything? Do you mix up your game loops, or are you, strictly a mercenary or a bounty hunter or something like that? Make sure we've got that panel is good. This panel's pretty much clear. Got one SCU already. There we go.
Landing complete. Engines are off.
So we'll put it on eject. How much material do we have? We got one full SCU. We'll eject that. Set that on the grid on the Ironclad and move on to the next contract. Let's close this girl up first. Oop. Wrong button. So we do have a couple of weapons here. Let's move these. Excellent. We'll lower the hatch so we can remove this. Yeah, on to the next contract. Hope everybody's having a good day. I am. Just kind of chilling out here. Having a nice, enjoyable game loop here. Dog sleeping on the couch. All the responsibilities are done for the day. Hey, open. What's going on? Operations. And now go. Okay. Where's our ladder? We have a ladder to go up, I thought. Don't know what was going on there. Lights off, open, open. Did I accidentally lock that? There we go. We'll leave that in the upstate. Alright, we'll go back to our contracts and see if we got something new. I do better check the rep on Adagio. Okay, so we are definitely making some progress here. Offers, salvage. Santok. Michael 1 Frontier Station. Okay, well that's pretty close to or we could sell it. And that's an Apoa Santok also. Yeah, we'll take that one. I would think we can climb up to that, can we? Oh yeah, we can. Where was this salvage? I thought it was above us somewhere. We'll keep it offset a little bit. Keeping it offset that way I don't have any difficulty trying to get the componentry off of it and down into the hull. other weapons on this girl? Oh, yep, got one up here. Oh, nope, that's moving the whole ship. What are we doing? Didn't want that. Gotta find the right spot to hit. Nope, that's still hitting the whole ship. Back here, yep, there we go. Oh. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, all the weaponry is secured, it looks like. All snapped to the grid. Okay, we can close this up since we don't need EVA anymore. And rinse and repeat. Let's get in this girl and strip this ship. I'm looking. Food helps. Oh, a little bit of damage.
Engines are on.
Turn the mining off, turn it back on. Gimbal. I am working up to put stronger scrapers on this Salvation too. These are just the base model that come with the vehicle. If you're interested in picking up this vehicle, it's about 1.2 million AUEC in game, and with the functionality that I have for it, you can not only strip the ship, but then you can use the quad size 5 cannons on the bottom of the Ironclad to completely break the ship up, and then you can get construction material and things like that. But I find the ease of just getting the RMC off of it is a lot faster than going through the refining process and things like that. So maybe one day when I'm retired, I'll have the time to sink in long gamer sessions, but right now it's just not feasible. Improved heads not only increase the amount of material captured, but also the speed at which it disintegrates it. So vehicle is very complex with all of its surface areas and things like that, so it's probably going to take a decent amount of time to actually fully strip. So with these mission types, there is a little bit of cost for overhead because you do have to pay the claimant fee. But you know, if all goes well after everything is said and done, you end up making money and got some enjoyment out, some relaxation of maybe a game loop you'd like to partake in. I mean, salvage on its own is a very lucrative business. It doesn't take much initial investment. There is a starter ship like this right there, so you can jump right in. You know, once you start getting to the larger contracts, this ship will hold 6 SCU in the hopper, and then you can just auto eject them, and then put them onto your onto your holder with 6 more in the hopper. So realistically, you can hold 12 at one time, and then eventually, if you work your way up and maybe you want to get an Asgard or something, which will fit this ship inside of it, and use that as a carrier. That way you can do like I'm doing and just print the boxes out and put them inside of your quote-unquote mothership. That way you can stay out there longer. You don't just have to rush back to to clear the hoppers and sell your material once you have 12. And you can see by how much material the heads are gathering, with those meters and percentages in there, so when an area has been, pretty much cleaned out, along with the green, yellow, and red outlines within the actual panel that you're currently working. ships had a considerable amount more material than the last one. It's definitely a good game loop. Sit around, or it's morning for me here, and just kind of chill out, have a cup of coffee, make a little bit of money, gain some rep, especially since since the initial game loop of cargo is it's kind of in a rough spot right now. So I can fill my time with this. It's not a game loop I engage in all the time, but it's there. It's there to break up you know, the loop of what you're doing. Because whether you're doing combat or bunkers or things like that, it it can be nice just to take a break from that and go engage in some of the other game loops that they offer. Might not be the best for everybody, but it's there. Just like when base building comes, that's going to be fun. I'm just going to create an actual home base on a planet somewhere, or maybe our org will decide. Okay, we're gonna build something, in this system on this planet, and this is going to be our big plot of land, and because as an org, you're also going to have to defend those territories. Let me see, I got 15% more. Where am I going to get that 15% from? Did I not really do a good job over here on the inside of this wing? Is that viable? It is viable. Looks like I got this one pretty good. I was just scraping my own. I was just scraping my own ship. Oh God. I was like, oh, why are these panels so big? And I just totally had tunnel vision right there. And then it dawned on me, it's saying check fire. I'm like, oh my God. Gotta be a little bit left on this thing, right? Somewhere. Right there. Okay. Scraping my own engines there. Dumbass. See? See how stupid I am sometimes. Bottom side of my ship. Fucking crazy.
Engines are off. System off.
Okay. Let's close up that bay door. Oh, you know what? I forgot to hit auto eject. Is that visible from there? I think I can get it, right? No. There? Oh. Okay, so we've got some weapons. 5 SCU RMC. Let's go see what this will sell for. We'll take the ship back to New Babbage and get an idea of how much we're going to make off of just these 2 small ships. Try not to use the star map for everything. I try and, familiarize myself with each one of the symbols. You see the scrapings that I was doing on the back of my own ship. It's okay, when I bring it in, I gotta refuel, restock. I wonder if it's gonna repair that. I might have to get up on top of the ship myself and repair that with an RMC canister and my multi-tool. Beautiful planet of Microtech. I love this planet. I think I'm always going to start at this planet because you do get a choice. So once we get back here to our hangar, we're going to take all the componentry out. We're going to drop that down the elevator along with the SCU, and then we're going to go to the TDD and sell it all, the RMC composite and the materials that we break down from the weapons. Coasting nice and easy. So we will need to bring out our fabricator and break those down to get the materials, and then just sell the materials. I don't have many blueprints for crafting. That's why I'm not concerned about keeping the weapons or keeping the materials. Better off just to get rid of it all. Because we are running low on cash. We only have 486,000, so. It's probably going to give us that one up on the right, I would imagine. I don't want to hail it quite just yet, though. It was one of the ground ones on the left. I hate these. I literally hate these.
Nicely done. We can take care of your vehicle from here.
That was weird. I hit engines off and it shut the whole system down. I just wanted to make sure it was all fully off. Okay, so here we go. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Request a full refuel, repair, rearm. we go. Should be good as new. Next time we take it out. I honestly have no idea how much money I'm going to make off of this. I'm not expecting much, but you know, each contract was what, 300. A lot of that hydrogen fuel and quantum fuel I just recharged was from not this at all, so I can't even really attribute that. That was what, about 9,000 right there, so maybe I'll attribute 1,000. So let's say 1,500 credits was the total cost to get this operation done. So let's see what kind of return we're going to get on it once we're all done here. Let's take a lay down here in our medevac. Replenish our nutrition and hydration. What? What was that? What was that? That was a glitch. I just died. How did I just die? Getting out of a bed. It better not happen again. Okay, well that sucks. That kind of just wasted a med gel. And med gels aren't cheap. They're like 100K a piece. But, yeah, when you're in an armistice zone, you don't lose any of your inventory, so... But that basically just cost me $50,000 for nothing. Because it's $100,000 per med gel pack, and the med gel pack gets you 2 respawns. Star Citizen being Star Citizen. Is our elevator open? Yes, it is. So we'll start with the weapons here. Oh, what the hell is going on? Dude. Don't do this to me now, man. You know, I'm so close to getting the money. Glitching out. Even with all the bugs, I still enjoy this game. It's not copium, but you know, being part of something that testing and playing, enjoying, supporting. And this isn't the first game that I've done things like this for. A lot of people play the game and they don't send in reports or anything like that. I do. I'll log it, send it in. A lot of people just play the game and they encounter the bug and, oh, what the hell was that? They don't send it in, which is fine. I'm sure there's plenty of people in the Star Citizen community like myself that are just taking note of things and trying to help the developers. I'm very excited at the news that some streamers and some people got the opportunity to head down and check out Squadron 42 in October. That's great. Whoever did, and if anybody that does sees this video, kudos to you, man. That's amazing. That's great. Good on you. There have been far more people that have been engaged with this game for far longer than I have, so they're much more knowledgeable about it. So they should have, the ability to, to take the game and, get the first look at it, see if there's any kind of, maybe ideas or changes or just all general, all around PR. There's a lot of content creators that I do watch, that are going. I think 3 of the people I watch are going, because, when I'm not playing the game or, I'm just kind of chilling out, I do watch the content, not for put these components or do this or best build or tips and tricks. Just, people like me. They're just playing the game for a couple hours, doing something, Active in the Verse is great. Ridge 6 is great. When I first started playing this game, I'm not going to lie, since there really is no guide on how to play this, they just kind of chuck you into it and be like, here, here's a whole bunch of shit to do, but we're not going to tell you how to do it, and we're not going to tell you what the keybinds are. So, there is a legend you can look at, inside of the game. But as far as the more complex things on the controls and things like that, for camera changes and how do you change your your heal from you to another character or so once we send all this stuff down, we are going to pull up the fabricator to break down the guns. That way when we go to the TDD, we'll be able to sell it all. I hope there isn't an abundance of those materials and I can sell it all. But if not, I'll just, keep them in the container. I'm not advanced enough, honestly, to... I know there's a site called UEX, which a lot of haulers and people use to, find the best prices and payouts for things, because this is a living economy. This is an MMO, so prices do change based on supply and demand at each space station or planet. Or so those are things that eventually, once you start min-maxing your runs, that you can look at. once I start stockpiling enough money, or there is a need to keep RMC on the ship for you know, future horde mates that you know, repair and rearm and things like that, I'll just keep some on ship, because you do have to have those materials on ship to be able to perform those functions for ships that want those services. It's not just, you know, oh, your buddy parks their ship in there and all of a sudden it's fixed and rearmed. Nope. You gotta have the material. So you know, let's take a sorry for the delay, but I just want to make sure that the, you know, the bay is clear. Yep, we're good. And we'll send this stuff down, and then on the way back up, we'll bring up the fabricator. See what kind of materials we get. End it all down. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's find our fabricator. Store all. Bring that up. And now with the new inventory system, everything that is close to it that is storage, we have the ability to shift and move and do inventory, so. So this will be my first time actually breaking down things inside the fabricator. So let's see how this works. So are only those two out of them able to be recycled? So the, what is that one down there? Okay, so that's make. That's make. So I have... Okay, so I can make P4 AR mags. Antium, moss, antium. Oh man, antium core. Oh, I have an Artemex core? I didn't even know that. I must have gotten some of this stuff when we were running missions during the org. Wow, I kind of like that. That's pretty nice. What does that take to make? It takes 5 SCU, Terranite, Azlerite, and Lindenium. So 525. Its temperature range isn't that very good, though. Damage mitigation, so it's 30%, so that would mean... Is that heavy? I thought heavy was 40. I do like the stuff with the capes, though. It looks kind of cool. That's the Q. That's the recycle. So I got 2 repeaters off of that, so I think that was just from the first ship. I don't know if those other weapons are viable to break down. You know what, let me close this. Let me actually go and verify, because if they're not able to be broken down, they still should be in my inventory. Because that is a ship, so... They should be at the bottom, since they were the newest into the inventory. Mantis Gatling. Panther repeater, Mantis Gatling. Tongue repeater. Okay, so they are physically in the inventory. I just don't know if they can be broken down. Maybe they're not in the game yet as far as blueprints are concerned. So now we know. That one. That one. So we'll get tungsten and iron from this. I mean, as you can see, it's all 500 quality, so it's better off just to break it down and sell it. And then as, you know, I mine, or the org mines, or, you know, Hadnite, Agricium, Hadnite, and Agricium. Okay. Well, let's dismantle those. Dismantle. And it's pretty quick for dismantling, under 10 seconds. There we go. Now we got the materials. And we can send the fabricator back down. Send that back down. And we can head off to the TDD in the Commons. And we'll check prices and see if we can sell all this stuff. And get a rough idea of how much money we made. So we should now have these mats all the way at the bottom. Right? So we still have those weapons. Yep, Adnite, iron, tungsten, agricium, pressurized ice, Adnite, more agricium. Okay, cool. Alright, let's send the Ironclad on down.
the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
I didn't double check, but I'm hoping it's clear. Hoping the ship doesn't get clipped.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Yes, okay. So what did I say? It was about 1,500 was the total cost just to do what we did right now. I could add the repairs in there, but that that was a stupid mistake. I can't believe I'm scraping my own ironclad.
Gotta take things a day at a time, right?
It's okay, she's got some character now. When I get off here, I gotta check damage mitigation as far as armor's concerned. So what? Heavy armor is what? Yeah, see, 40% damage reduction. So that would be a medium. Let's go to the comments. Right, I think that's where the TDD is. If you are interested in this armor that I'm wearing right now, this is the Sanger helmet with the Overlord Core Dust in heavy also. The Odyssey 2 undersuit, the Defiance Arms, which is heavy, and then the GDC Army Legs, which is medium.
The capsule will be leaving the station momentarily.
And you can find those by looting PAFs or doing bunker missions.
Doors are now closed.
Particularly Defiance equipment is, I want to say Hurston. So if you fly over to the Hurston planet and then do a bunker mission over there, you'll find that, if you find a downed guard that was trying to assist you, the guards usually wear the Defiance stuff, and you can take it right out off of them after they're incapacitated or down or dead, and you won't get a crime stat. But you can also loot it from boxes on Hathor or PAFs, particularly near the main satellite in the battery room. Or you can try your luck at Ghost Hollow. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Ghost Hollow, but there are usually 2 purple crates there, which will spawn 1 higher end item in them apiece. So you might get lucky.
Nearing next stop.
To be honest with you, I think I got my helmet there, and that set it off. I was like, oh, I really like that armor. Now let me look for other pieces that have gold accents and put together an armor set. I like running medium legs with heavy
It was nice
upper
chatting
body
with you. I hope you enjoyed
because
the
it
rest of your
increases your
visit.
personal speed a little bit. All heavy armor makes you a little slow. It's kind of like, then I'm also running a medium backpack just because I don't feel the need to loot everything this is my armor set. This is the one that I'm going to have and run. Maybe if I find some Defiance legs, I'll switch them over, but probably not, because then that would make me full heavy. So what are we going? We're going to the TDD, right? Yep. Is it Planetary Services? No, no, it's not.
Hey there.
I also like to start doing some courier missions. So if you're unfamiliar, this right here is the Trade Development Division. And this is what you're looking for if you want to sell items here on New Babbage. So we will see what we can sell. Select location. Why doesn't it have... What's going on here? Why can't I sell it directly from my inventory? Are they not considered commodities? Would I have to go to like an L4 station? I wonder? Huh. That doesn't make any sense. I could have swore you could sell... Unless maybe Shubin? Dealing with mining and commodities? Maybe that's it? Might have been mistaken. The hell is Shubin? Let me think.
We have seen a surge of rogue operators seeking to use the plight of the Empire for their own gain. Until we are able to put such safeguards in place to prevent further lapses, starting today, the initiative is on hold and all projects are
TDD, Metro Loop, TDD, Metro Loop. Shubin. There we go.
For now, I urge renewed caution.
Unless this might just be retail of, sell. This just might just be equipment. Yeah, I might have to go to an L4. Now, let me see what they actually have to sell here as far as armor. Not interested. That is so odd to me. I could have swore you could sell this stuff at the TGD. Maybe you can't. Maybe I'm just totally mistaken. I mean, obviously I am. The game is saying no. We don't see any of your personal inventory. It's not even recognizing that I have those materials. See, it doesn't even give me the option of new Babbage. What is this placeholder thing?
Hi. Everything good?
What could I possibly have in the Avenger Titan? Yeah, nothing. Oh, the game's not even seeing my my Ironclad either. Oh well, that's okay. I have the stuff down there. I can just load it up next time I play to take it to an L4.
Hi.
Where do we want to go? Let's go.
Hey.
Let's go hit the Metro Loop, and then we can. Maybe we'll take out our Titan
Trust me, you eat.
or our Flipper and load that up and chuck that stuff in there and take it to an L4 to sell. See if we can do that. Just if I bring all that stuff up from the elevator, I don't know if that elevator is going to bring it up as like gems, you know, or it's going to pull it up in SCU containers. We'll find out. I could do is just bring up a crate and then transfer it all into one crate. And then also take those weapons that don't have blueprints yet and see if I can just sell those outright as is. I'm learning right along with you guys, so I don't know. You might be yelling at the screen saying, "No, you idiot! This is how you do it." If you do know and you want to put it in the chat, then you know.
Hi, and welcome to New Babbage.
Hey, what's up, dude? That's a pretty fancy suit you got there.
Located in the plaza, the factory line has all of Microtech's latest offerings.
Here, I was getting all excited. I'm like, oh, I can sell this stuff. Let's see how much it's worth. Nope, sorry. Okay, so if we go to our cargo elevator and bring up one box and load all that stuff into the box, right? And then put that box in the vehicle. All right, give someone a CU box here. Box. Oh, box and personal. Okay, so what do we have to do it this way? Nope, I didn't want that. If I wanted that, I would have pressed that. We gotta bring it over to this terminal? That doesn't make any sense. It's all one unified thing anyway. Maybe I have to go into the terminal first instead of in the box. Is the box not close enough? Like, what the fuck? Or maybe you just can't do what I'm thinking it should. There we go. It wasn't close enough. Gotcha. Okay, so we want to look at local storage. And want to use store all, so we're going to take that. Hello. Whoa. What the fuck is going on? Can't put anything in this box. Okay, well, I guess that's not going to work either. I don't know if it's just because it may be server lag. Because I'm on. Try it the other way. There we go. Yeah, we'll keep that. Right now I'm just trying to keep anything like over 600s, and then as I get better and better materials, then I will sell the 600s and the, you know, what is this? Oh, that's probably the guns. So we got a 500 and a 500. So we have no other minerals, right? Okay, so we'll roll with this. We'll see what justice gets us. And to ensure that we can bring these materials up, let's pull up our Avenger Titan.
Your vehicle has been delivered. Please visit us again.
Put that in the Avenger Titan and then send it right back now. See if we can select the cargo grid on the Avenger Titan. See, they're implementing these systems of crafting and all this stuff, and I don't know if every pathway works, like, along with not really knowing how to do it. Especially as far as, you know, you could see, you know, as soon as I reversed it and went from, you know, looking inside the box to try to move it to the box to looking at my local inventory, moving it to the box, you know, it doesn't sound like it shouldn't work, but if they haven't put in the, you know, the code and the pathway to, you know, to be a two-way street, and it's just a, you know, a one-way street for moving inventory, then, you know, that's just kind of what you have to do until they you know, until they broaden out the. Okay, now we can send the Avenger Titan back down. Now I want to go back to the TDD here to see if that's able to be looked at within the inventory system for commodities. Because it is a commodity, you know.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been moved to us. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
If not, then I'll just leave that one SCU crate in there, and then I could just use my Avenger as you know, small runs and just keep storing stuff. And then once I have you know, a full box, 2, 3, 4, you know, the Avenger can hold up to 8, you know, and if this doesn't work, then I'll pull up those guns from my elevator and put those unsalvageable alien weapons into the back of the Avenger, and then just sell them at you know, one of the hip weapons manufacturer shops. Again, if they are able to be sold. I don't know what the status is of those weapons. If they don't have a blueprint, they can't be broken down. I imagine they still can be sold.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your visit.
Remember, your belongings belong to you.
Hi,
Keep careful
and
watch.
welcome to New Baggage.
Either way, I'm learning valuable information about the game. I've never engaged with, you know, any of these type game loops. It's basically just been straight cargo runs or straight mercenary missions or things like that, as opposed to creating your own loops. We want the commons. You know, everything has always been structured through what the game has, you know, exactly told me what to do. So I really want to start branching out into, you know,
Capsule
other
now
things.
approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
So hopefully this works. I mean, it should. You know,
The capsule will be leaving the station momentarily.
all right. So now that that Titan is down there, I should be able to choose the Titan. Choose its cargo grid. Right, yep, pause. It's snowing outside.
Technologies have been acting up a bit, though. I blame the Hosanna trees. No matter where I am in the system, their pollen seems to just follow me from Horizon.
It's crazy us.
And like I said, if this doesn't work, then I guess I might have to go to an L4.
Currently meeting with representatives of First and
Because there is a possibility maybe that they don't need these resources too. Since this is, you know, a living commodity, living trading, living vendor Titan, cargo capacity, local market value. Yeah, I think that's it. Actually, I don't think there's anything in demand yet. I mean, look at it's just everything is out of stock. So I guess, well, I mean, that would make sense then. That really would. I can't believe I didn't think of that, because if a lot of the cargo elevators are inoperable right now, I'm sure a lot of people had the exact same idea that I did. You know, here I'm thinking you know, I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I'll just go do that. Well, you know, every other player that's probably, you know, in the cargo loop and the, you know, things like that is probably thinking the same thing. In stock, out of stock. Yeah, nothing is in stock or out of stock. Okay, so now we know that doesn't work. Now we're going to take our Titan to an L4.
Will be away. We're so connected. All the tiny problems are distant.
And now we'll be able to use the commodities there to see if, because those are definitely a little more lenient. Oh shit! Which way was the metro loop? This one? That's Shubin.
White City versus a few floating platforms. Come on. Contest at all.
You all right? Good for you.
Took the wrong one. Oh, you know what? Let me see, since I'm here, if I can sell those weapons to center mats. See if maybe these are in need. Sell vehicle weapons. Oh, $1. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, well, I mean, I'll just get them out of my inventory, right? I can't break them down yet. There's no blueprints on them. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense, because if there's no, you know, if there's no blueprint on them, that means that they're isn't an economy on them, which would mean that there's just a placeholder of $1. Shubin. I mean, it's not even really about the money for me. I just enjoy this game so much. I'm gonna go to the spaceport.
Capsule now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
Got a couple guys over here from the org that are online
Capsule
now.
now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
Maybe I'll pop in there and see what they're all doing in
The
chat.
capsule will be leaving the station momentarily. Careful, doors are now closing. Nearing next stop.
Okay, it shouldn't take too long for us to get to an L4. Even if it does, it doesn't matter to me. No, I'm sorry if, sometimes you find this game boring or whatever. It's, it's a different type of game. I've said it, a dozen times already, probably. Your gameplay is up to you. If you want to be chill and relax and, do some salvaging, or you want to engage in, first-person combat, ship combat, bounty hunting, mercenary. You can do all that. I am very happy. I mean, knock on wood right now, as I'm knocking on my workstation desk. The game has been extremely stable since 4.8.2. So that I'm happy for. I mean, except for that one random death bug getting out of the ironically our medical vehicle. But other than that, it really hasn't affected me.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval. Your vehicle has been please visit us again. Goodbye.
I'll be right back in one sec, guys, while this brings this up. All right, thank you for your patience on that. Just had to make myself a fresh cup of coffee. Let's get over to an L4 station, see if we can sell this commodity, if there's, a higher likelihood that there's a need for it. I mean, or maybe I was just wrong and you can't actually sell all that stuff, but I could have sworn to God multiple times I've taken random stuff to an L4 or to a TGD.
Aegis combat assist activated. Systems green.
Looks like you're on your way. It was great being able to help you, and I hope you're able to visit us here at New Babbage again real soon.
See, this thing's got it's got a lot more pep in her step. Okay, so let's look for their closest L4 maps. 4 like L4. Oh, don't tell me. Like quantum fuel. I got to rearm it. L4. Nope, can't make that one either. That's stupid mistake, Clint. Stupid mistake. Okay, well, let's go back down and use hangar services.
There we go. Found you the pub.
Landing gear deployed.
Great. Your vehicle should be all set.
Quantum fuel at 100%. Launch complete.
You should be good to go. like you're on your way. It was great being able to help you, and I hope you're able to visit us here at New Babbage again real soon.
Shields offline.
As you can see, this puppy's a little more zippy than pulling out the old big girl there. I pretty much use this as just like a taxi, and for combat too. If I want to do, ship to ship combat. Say I pull up a bounty mission, I need to take a ship down, then this is the one that I pull out. For a starter ship, which is the first ship I purchased, I really think this one is probably the best all-arounder because it allows you to do some combat. It's got 8 SCU of cargo space. It's fast. You don't really need to upgrade it. You can do, a lot of good stuff and make quite a bit of money, with this thing. The other good one I would recommend would be the Intrepid. That one has a much nicer interior. Kind of has like a hab in it where you can sit and relax. It does have a weapon system on it, not as strong as the Avenger Titan, but it also holds a SCU of cargo. When I was first playing the game, I was like, okay, what's an inexpensive ship? Okay, $65. It's still less than a AAA title, which, in my opinion, this is much better than a AAA title. Is it buggy? Yes, but the vastness of this game is going to keep me occupied for many, many years. I can see why people have been playing this for quite a bit. And pledged to it. It got me. So, and I have no regrets on any of the ships that I purchased or buying the Ironclad or something like that. Some people may say, "Oh, you're fucking crazy." Well, maybe you spent, money on a car, or upgrading a car, or, people spend, $1,000 a year. They get new phones every year. It's just whatever you're into. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks in life. As long as you're a good person, do the right thing morally. Nobody has any room to tell you any different. The people that mind don't matter, and the people that matter don't mind. Still got a fair journey. I hope you enjoy the type of gameplay I put out. I try not to. Well, it's not that I don't not try to. I refuse to put edited clips, combat, or gameplay, or I'm hoping people enjoy the conversation. They can, meet in a community. They can do, you know, something in the background. Maybe you're cleaning or you're, like I do. I've said it before, hanging out with my dog, throwing the ball around the house, or just don't be doom scrolling on your phone. That's not healthy. If you're not watching my videos, go outside, touch some grass, take your dog to the park, go for a hike. Sit on your back patio, enjoy a sunrise or a sunset, or a nice cold can of Coke on a hot summer day. It's about enjoying the little things in life, because the little things add up to a greater sum than the major events in your life. So you have to take every day. Every day is a blessing. Every day is good. One thing new players might not notice, but on the left-hand side, underneath where it says SCM and gun, it shows you have your coupled and uncoupled modes. Coupled kind of reduces the flight to more of a traditional flight that you would think of in an airplane, although it still has the 6 degrees of freedom. Like you'll notice that little circle right there. You see how that's moving around, and that's. So if you were to uncouple, right, that would still show, that would symbolize the actual trajectory of your craft. So, like, when you're coming in and out of, say you have org mates, you have somebody that, where their ship is actually moving, and you're trying to, dock and land and do things like that while both ships are moving. You would need to do that in uncoupled mode, because then if you were to try to take off in coupled mode from an actual landing pad inside of, say, an Adris or in my Ironclad or something like that, it's not going to take your current velocity into account. So when you're in uncoupled mode, that's how you can actually get yourself out of a hangar bay of a moving ship without having any collision. Because if you were to try to just lift up and lift off, you would just slam right into the doorway or some piece of it. So that's where coupled and uncoupled becomes very important. Normally I'll fly around in coupled mode, but if we're doing, certain things where, say you want to continue in the current trajectory that you have, but you also want to land backwards. Well, then you could, make sure that marker is showing your trajectory angle, and then just spin your jet. So if it was pointing at the at the landing pad or at the thing, you'd be able to literally spin your jet while you're continuing that same forward momentum. And you'll notice it here. When you fly in and you go into a gravitational situation, you'll be able to control your craft much more.
Complete. Engines offline.
Okay, let's put this girl down and we'll get out of her and send her down. Such a good looking ship too.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
I always have a tendency to wait for the doors to close, lock, and latch. I have had a few ships on occasion where I've landed them, they've been safe. I've exited this door, and then I come back to it, and I got to file a claim on the. So we'll go to a lobby. Go to lobby, then interspace station, and then refinery. Is that fleet managers? Yeah. And is there a commodity terminal right around here, maybe? Maybe? Don't know. Let's take a walk around before we head down to interstation. Z-Habs, meds. Where would admin be? Maybe not. Okay, either way, let's just go down into the interstation. Galleria. Am I wrong? Was it an L1? Am I stupid? Hold on one sec, chat. Let me let me Google this. I might have just made another mistake. Yep, it's Mike L1. Oh, Jesus. See how stupid I am. Fuck, dude, you suck at this game, man. What the fuck? Hey, man, not only am I new, but, this game doesn't have little fucking markers that, tell you exactly where you need to go. You legit need to learn this game. Like, as you can see, there's no little markers of anything. You gotta, it's like you're in a mall. You physically gotta look around and be like, oh, okay, Habs hangers this way, Alright, well, I guess we'll go down. We'll go to Mike L1 instead of Mike L4.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has please visit.
Hopefully it's not too much of a quantum jump. I was gonna say, I thought this one was a little far. I'm like, it seems a little far. I mean, it's over by the gateway for the wormhole. not make this mistake again, right?
Systems green.
See, it says I don't need any quantum fuel, but I just used a whole bunch, so why wouldn't I?
Launch complete. Landing gear rejected.
Okay, we're just gonna come right back where we came from. I thought this was a little far. I'm like, hold on, I don't remember the last refinery station. So if this works and I can sell these here next time I'm out, I'll just throw those crates of RMC back on the vehicle and go to an L1. Maybe next time I start the game too, I'll try courier services, which is basically just like small boxes, not like one SCUs, and they're just pick and drops. Since the wipe, everybody's reputation is reset, so it's all got to be redone anyway. Also, now that the wipe happened, I still have to rearm the ship. Change out the missiles and the Gatling gun on the front and the lasers.
Shields are automatic.
My dog's looking at me like, man, Dad, come on, you've been playing for 3 hours now. Been streaming forever. Once I check this out, whether it works or not, I'm just gonna store the ship and get off. So I just want this, you know, to have future knowledge. Okay, so that would be the top of the station.
Landing gear deployed.
I hate when people do that. They just kind of like park right outside of a landing zone. It's like, what are you doing, man? Come on, bro.
Landing deployed. Engines offline.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
So L1 and L2s are refiners. Gotta store that in the old mental Rolodex. I could have swore it was L4s, but obviously I was mistaken. It's not admin down here, is it? As soon as we have. So technically these materials are just from breaking down 2 weapons. Or 3 weapons, excuse me.
Today's scheduled waste disposal has been postponed until further notice.
I think my guild membership's gonna lapse soon. I haven't
No
needed to
commodities found in this location's
so I'm
cargo.
just gonna let it slip. Weird though. Growing up, that seemed like the coolest, but I've just been busy with other opportunities, you know? Can't keep your head in the tunnels, my dad used to say.
That is crazy. Okay, apparently that isn't it either.
Management just wanted to make a general announcement to check your valve systems. We've been noticing leaks in processes.
I'm at a loss. I really am. Unless the values are just maybe too low. I mean, that wasn't mine stuff, so. The pharmacy. I swore there was a commodity monitor. Like right as soon as you step off. So I know it's not here. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research. Maybe I'm just totally barking up the wrong tree, right? You know, whether it's, you know, the amount that you need or where to sell them or. But I could have sworn. It's in the Galleria section. I don't think it would be though. That's right. I mean, we're here, right? Fancy colorful stuff right there. I'll look and see what kind of legs they have. Right. Wow, look at those venture legs. Jesus Lord. You want to stand out in PvP like, hey, come shoot me. Just grab yourself some of that. Holy Jesus. Big walking highlighter. Look at those. Light. Yeah. But those are nice. But they're also light. See, all the colorways I like for armor are always light. Never the heavy stuff. Or the medium. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm not really too concerned about it. I will find a place to sell this stuff. I will eventually get a return on my investment, damn it. Storage. Sabas. Locker. Storage stuff. Nope, not here. Alright, let's go back down to the hangar. I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna do a little bit of research to make sure I know what the fuck I'm doing, you know? I mean, I know it's possible. Yeah, that's what the salvage loop is. There's something I'm missing. Whether it be, it has to be full SCUs or... Plenty of storage stuff. They just... I could have swore there was like always a commodity thing, like right as you stepped off. You don't want fleet manager. Nope, don't want any of that. Alright guys, well then, that is going to call it a day for me. I just want to say thanks to everybody that watched the stream. I know we didn't get much accomplished, but in my eyes we did. Just because you don't complete the task, it means you learn what not to do to not complete the task. So we did gain a little bit of valuable information. Game was very smooth today. Didn't really encounter any bugs except for that, that one random death. when I stepped out of the Ursa. But the game seems to be in a pretty healthy state, so I'm really looking forward to, 4.9. Hopefully they, don't introduce any new difficulties where it takes, two sub patches to make the game, stable again. So, but we will see what they have in store. So far, from what I've heard, is 4.9 is going to be incorporating suit lockers, and I think they might be thinking about doing some of the fuel changes. I'm not sure, but for sure they're going to be testing all the instance-driven stuff. That way they can start adding different mission types into it. That way, it breaks you off from the MMO side of the game, puts you on a separate server. Then we don't have any outside interference. So you and a bunch of mates can go around the missions, get the rewards, and enjoy the gameplay without having somebody either grief you or have unintended consequences within the game. So, but thanks again. If you did enjoy the content, just think about giving me a like, or maybe join the org in our Discord, and I will see everybody in the next one. Bye, everybody.